QR codes, woo! You know, with QR codes, this is a topic of conversation that I have a lot, and we do a lot of QR code work, and I'll tell you what they are. They're quick response codes, and almost everybody has seen one of these. If you got a quick response code scanner on your smartphone, scan that code right there if you can. Go ahead and pull your mobiles out. Scan the phone. Let's see what kind of mobile experience we're going to have. It says scan for deliciousness. I'm interested to see where that goes. The big thing is if you got a smartphone, some people in this room probably may not even have a QR scanner, and that's fine. You see the numbers right now, though. 44% of smartphone owners have scanned a QR code. So I think that's still relatively low, but there's a reason for that because people aren't getting great experience. So far, they have been really misused. How many times, if you have scanned a QR code, has it taken you to a full website that you got to pinch and pull, or it goes to somebody's Facebook page, or it tells you to go to an app, and it's like all these bad experiences. You're not getting any love or anything out of it. They're not universal because you got to have a smartphone rather than like SMS text messaging is universal. So you at least have to have a smartphone, but they've been so poorly misused. So you can do a lot of things though with a QR code. You can send a text, you can direct it to a website, which this does, produce a message, video, you name it. There are a lot of things you can do with QR codes and you can program them to do because essentially, without getting too detailed, all those little dots in there, if you can scan it, all those little dots in there are basically spelling out things to the system, to your smartphone. So there's little things here and there. You got one on the back of your card. I got one on the back of my card. Hey, talk to Ingalls. So you got the Duncan Hines Bake On. I see Linda there on your phone. This is a great resource, and I'll show you a little bit more about this. This is actually where this QR code came from, and I think it's fantastic. And that's why I wanted to share it today, because I think it is one of the best examples of a mobile strategy. Yeah, well, actually, Tim, if you dig around the side a little bit, you're going to find something very, very cool. Let's take a look at exactly what happens with this, where this QR code came from. I saw that and I stopped the TiVo. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I backed up and I found that QR code and I scanned it. And really, just an amazing experience for mobile. And I'll tell you why this QR code was so cool. Because when you went to it, it did what the 3 things, according to me, you should do. This was like when we first started up doing mobile. I wrote a blog, and you know, it's so awesome to write a blog, and 2 people read it every single day, and one of them's your mom and one's your wife. It's like, I don't have time to blog, but I tell you, I wrote a blog when I started off, and I came up with these rules for QR codes, and they still hold true to this day. 1, a QR code should be a tool to use your product. Maybe it's Duncan Hines and the Bake On. Maybe it's a unique recipe. Maybe it's a way to make your Duncan Hines cakes just a little bit more fluffy. Maybe it's a makeup case, and you scan the QR code on the back of your makeup case, and it tells you that this eyeliner goes with this mascara, this base, this blush, and you've got it all mapped out. A tool to use your product. Exclusive content or instructional content. Maybe it's a recipe, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a clue or a contest that nobody is allowed to know about unless you scan a QR code. Something exclusive to give the user that feeling of, cool, I feel cool because I did this. And the last thing is a great offer. This Duncan Hines program, it gives you recipes, it gave you coupons so you can save money, it gave you all kinds of instructions. It had a really rich mobile experience all based on a QR code, and it used all 3 of these things, and that's what makes a great QR. Walk through the Mountain Express sometime and scan the QR codes that are in some of the ads, and they go nowhere sometimes, and sometimes they go to a website. They're just being misused all over the place, and it's something that we're fighting all the time. So, you know, if I do a QR code, and every keyword, even for a text we have, comes with a QR code, we really try to want to make people, you know, appreciate what it does. And we tell them what it does. I mean, if you go back to this previous slide, it says scan for deliciousness. Don't just put a QR code there. Scan for the trailer of this movie. Scan to get a free offer. Whatever the case may be, tell people exactly what they're scanning, because what you're doing is you're invoking a behavior. Look at everybody right now. They're scanning QR codes. They're walking around. You got this, you're invoking a behavior by using this technology. So if you're going to get the dog to behave, make sure you give it a treat. So, what I'm telling you guys today is not really a big secret. I mean, I'm not telling you things that, you know, are light years ahead. I'm talking about the right now. In fact, USA Today just a couple weeks ago, right before the new year, talked about the 5 big trends for small business, and number 1 was mobile mania. 30% of searches done on a mobile device. Everybody's buying iPads and iPhones and Androids and Kindles. And for the small business, there's a great few things here. Just geo-targeting, working on apps. I think SMS text messaging is huge depending on your business. I mean, literally, I talk to political candidates, and I can use SMS text messaging to organize their volunteers into different groups. I can alert them to events that are going on for the candidate. I can get them to reply with a keyword that says donate, so that we can ask them how much they want to donate and follow up with them to collect that donation via pledge. We can do a number of different things, take them to a mobile website. You name a business, and we can usually come up with a pretty good mobile strategy for it. Sometimes there are people, I can admit that, I've talked to some people and I go, okay, I don't have anything for you right now. I need to really think. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, Lavender Fields out in Biltmore Park Town Square, average ticket there is somewhere around, $600 for a small bottle of perfume. They sell extraordinary product. Well, she's maybe 1 or 2 transactions every day or every other day. And so it's hard to really get somebody growing SMS text messaging that way. You have to kind of work a little bit harder to get her in front of more people rather than the people who are coming into the store. I have to get her in front of more people so that more people can opt in and get messages and offers for that. But you can see that there's a lot of different things that you can do, and a lot of it we've talked about today. So it's no big secret. USA Today is all over it, and the rest of the country and big businesses as well. If there's anything about today that you should remember, 30% of search is done on mobile. That's a big, big thing. And it's really about the user experience. Think about all the good examples we had today. Earth Fare, Coca-Cola, Diesel Jeans, BMW of Asheville. Think about the user experience, Duncan Hines, all of these things, Brioso, whatever the case may be, they were all about user experiences, giving the user something, because it's very, very personal, it's very, very intimate when you communicate with somebody on a mobile device. They can't really tune it out. It's a lot harder right now at this day and age. Our brains haven't adapted like they used to billboards and everything else where we can tune things out. The good news is it's still very, very early in the game. Back end of early adoption at this process. It's not too late to get in on the ground floor of mobile marketing. The big thing is it's affordable. SMS text messaging, incredibly cheap. We can build mobile websites for you really cheap. Like I said, if you want to develop an app, we can get that done, pretty cheap if you want to, or do the right thing and get the local guys to do it. And the big thing is the mobile web is exploding. I mean, we're spending more and more time searching on our tablets using the internet, or on our iPhone 4Ss or our Androids. I mean, and the thing you're going to see is 4G networks moving in very soon. It's going to speed everything up tremendously, and the amount of video and how we're going to consume media all coming through the mobile web. It's on a hockey stick trajectory, and yet we're still right here in the ground game. So those are the big takeaways today, and always think about it for your clients. It's always about the user experience. When I talk to somebody and they want to send a message and they want to price point something, I tell them that's a bad message. Nobody's going to come in and nobody cares. Nobody knows that just because you offer a pizza at $9.99, they don't know that it's normally $17.99. Pizza Hut gives me $10 pizzas every single day. So I think that's a bad message. Let's do $7 off any pizza, or let's give value right away. When you get your free pineapple from Earth Fare in the coupon in the email or on the text, you may not use it, but I'll tell you what, you feel good that you got some value. You feel good that somebody offered you something, and that's the big thing. That's why we see 5% redemption rates when it comes to SMS text messaging. 5% on a mobile. So out of 2,000 people, 100 people coming in to redeem an offer. 5% is really the A+ that we strive for in just about every case, which blows away direct mail, which blows away television. I mean, and we can prove that return on investment. When you have 100 people who showed the text and came through the doors because they've got this text message, that's all us. And I tell you what, no bigger accomplishment for us and greater pride than when the customer writes a check every month and is really happy. They're happy to write that check. I know you guys have felt that as well. And that's a big thing for us. So now is the time for questions that I probably can't answer.